An Illinois State Police trooper with Wabash Valley ties has died. Officials say he was shot while serving a warrant early this morning. Now officials are sharing who he is and what happened. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Officials say SWAT trooper Nicholas Hopkins died in the line of duty in East St. Louis. He was 33 years old. He was also a 10-year veteran of the Illinois State Police. News 10 has learned Hopkins had Wabash Valley ties. He worked for the Casey Police Department.
Illinois State Police say the shooting happened while the SWAT team was serving a warrant at a home. They say gunfire was exchanged. Trooper Hopkins was shot and taken to a hospital where he later died. Police say they arrested 3 people. At this time, it is unknown if the shooter was one of them. ISP Director Brendan Kelly says this is the first Illinois State Police SWAT team member killed in 20 years.
The Casey Police Department and several other agencies have expressed their condolences. About a few hours ago, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker released a statement. It reads in part, quote, "The state of Illinois stands with Trooper Hopkins' family and the entire Illinois State Police family as they grieve the loss of another heroic officer."
Back in the Wabash Valley, a Sullivan man has been arrested after a standoff. Earlier today, deputies were called to West County Road 75 South in Sullivan County for a welfare check. Police say they heard gunshots coming from inside the house. 30 minutes later, this man, Robert Schonkweiler, walked out of the home with his arms in the air. He was taken to the hospital for evaluation before being taken to jail. Fortunately, no one was hurt during this incident.
We're very fortunate here today that somebody wasn't killed. I mean, we have police officers standing on the front porch coming out here to help somebody. It's not worth somebody getting shot or killed, when somebody's inside the house with a rifle. Yeah.
Deputies did find several guns inside the home. Sheriff Cottom says they're using criminal charges to remove the weapons. Schonkweiler faces charges of criminal recklessness and intimidation. We are still working to learn more information about an attempted abduction in Bloomfield. It happened earlier today. Bloomfield school leaders say the attempt involved an adult woman walking in town. Schools were on lockdown just to be safe. Officials say students were escorted out of the building to their parents at the end of the day. We have reached out to the Bloomfield Police Department. As of airtime, we have not heard back.
Inspectors are working to make sure it's safe at Eastern Green schools. Yesterday, 5 people were hospitalized after a hazmat situation at Eastern Green Middle and Elementary schools. It's news we first brought you right here on News 10. We spoke with the Greene County Health Department today. The agency says it's testing residue on the walls, floors, and trash cans. Yesterday, several students and staff reported having coughs, shortness of breath, burning eyes and nose, and rashes on their skin by the end of the school day. School officials say it was an isolated incident and was contained to just one room, but health officials are still working to determine exactly what caused the reaction and why.
As of currently, I'm not aware of any criminal investigation. I know that they do have video cameras and they are pulling those tapes and looking at some of those tapes. No one has reported any illnesses outside of the school, neighbors, residents in the community that I'm aware of.
Officials say multiple tests have been done and they haven't found anything concerning yet. Indiana State Department of Health and Indiana Department of Emergency Management are set to perform more tests on Sunday morning.
A Wabash Valley man who confessed to killing his 5-year-old son will live the rest of his life behind bars. Robert Baldwin was sentenced to 65 years in prison for the murder of 5-year-old Gabriel Baldwin. Baldwin's sentencing was this morning. During the hearing, the prosecution played a recorded interview with Baldwin. That interview was with detectives after Baldwin was arrested in 2017. When questioned, Baldwin said he wanted to be taken to prison. He told detectives that he, quote, "saw no other way out of my situation," end quote. During the recording, Baldwin detailed how he carried out the murder of 5-year-old Gabriel.
You know, there are some cases where you can get justice and there are others where you really can't. Somebody murders a 5-year-old helpless little child. Nothing that happens in a courtroom is going to change that or make anything better.
Baldwin received the maximum sentence for murder while mentally ill.
Terre Haute police say a kickball tournament in Terre Haute got a little out of hand today. Police cleared a group of about 300 college-age students from Deming Park. They say they had marijuana. Police had to block the entrance of the park to let the crowd leave. No citations were issued.
A historic upset in the Wabash Valley tonight. We'll tell you which team took down a ranked opponent on the first full edition of In the Zone later tonight.
Plus, plans for the Vigo County Jail are coming together. We'll explain what leaders have accomplished. That's coming up next on News 10 Night Watch. Coverage you can count on.